Hey folks, welcome to Bear Mountain. Today we are circling back I should say, to our no-dig bed prep that we did a month ago. It was done right around the 20th of March, and today is the 26th of April, and we are ready to start planting some things in here. Most of what's underneath the cardboard and the mulch is probably at this point either well on its way out or already dead. And so what we're going to do is we've got some things that we want to put in this back garden. We've got the irrigations all set. You can see the mini sprinklers here. Our perennial phlox is really coming out of dormancy. Got a little bit of weeding to do with the collinear hoe around those guys, but they're in pretty good shape. And so what we're going to plant today is we've got 3 different types of delphinium that are the smaller type Guardian series. We've got a couple
different colors.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, we have got a lavender, a white, and a
blue,
light blue. And then we've also got yarrow. We've got red shades, the pearl, and I kind of forgot the other one, but basically,
yarrow?
Yeah, the yarrow.
Colorado mix.
Colorado mix. That's the other one. And then for foxglove, we've got the Camelot series, and these
Dalmatian peach.
And Dalmatian peach. And so we're going to do a nice mixture in here, kind of try to keep the taller things to the center of the beds, but they're all actually kind of spiky. So this is going to be our spike garden, I guess.
Yeah,
Huh?
everything.
Because everything is going to be roughly, when it blooms, 2 feet, maybe a little more.
24 inches or
2 feet to 3 feet, somewhere in that neighborhood.
These
and
aren't
blooming.
big delphinium.
Right, and the same thing with the perennial phlox. It'll be tall too. So everything back here will be kind of really tall.
Yeah, so we'll have to think of some stuff to put underneath.
Right. So what we should do is leave some room around these guys to maybe tuck in some other things that maybe bloom at a lower level, like petunias or small marigolds or things of that nature, kind of bedding plants. But these guys, well, the yarrow is, I guess if you want to call it a soft perennial, it'll be good for at least
Actually, it's the
3
hardiest
years.
of the perennials.
But it should give us at least a good 3 years before we got to divide it.
Right.
And
delphinium will keep coming back until...
Yeah, it does really well in the tunnel. I'm not really sure how well it's going to do outside in the wintertime.
That's our...
because these guys kind of tend to want to germinate early during slug season, so that one's always going to be kind of a challenge.
And the foxglove usually doesn't last more than a couple of years.
Yeah, about 2 years out of it. Well, I guess it is a biennial, isn't it?
Right, but these are first-year bloomers.
Right.
They will bloom the first year.
So we'll get 2 years of blooms out of them then?
Right.
Okay, cool.
So these will bloom later than foxglove season.
Right.
And then they should come back again next year and bloom. And then, like on the 3rd year, we've done it before, they've worked very good.
Right.
So,
but I mean, these kinds of annuals, though, you really got to probably divide them every 3 or 4 years anyway.
Right.
And it's like the phlox, next year, probably what we'll do is we've got some that are really growing close to the edge. We've probably got some spots that we want to fill, so we'll probably do some digging around. But
those have been there for a long time.
Yeah, they've probably
found a home.
5 years here.
Plus.
It seems to grow really well here because in the summertime the trees are tall enough and they cast enough shade right around this part. And this area over here on the other side, as we go to the other, tends to get more sun, and because the greenhouse kind of does a little bit of shading right here. So
and then we get some shading back where I am.
Right. Because the sun, the way it kind of does in the wintertime, the sun will set over there, but by the summer equinox, the sun's actually setting over here. So it gets all kinds of weird shadows sometimes,
right?
The way things go. And then we have some taller cherry trees that also cast a nice shadow down here. So from an afternoon sun standpoint, this area after a while kind of tends to get shaded out before other places. So I think that'll help the foxglove, because during the heat of the summer, it may, just being out in the wide open, this will kind of give it a little bit of a microclimate.
We've grown foxglove here before, and we grew some grasses.
Right.
in the past.
Yeah, we had northern sea oats
Right.
back here.
Right.
And yeah.
But we also had some tremendous flooding.
Yep.
Kind of wiped those out.
Okay, one of the things I just wanted to kind of show folks is like we buried this under probably about 2 inches of compost at thereabouts. I want to show what happened to the cardboard itself, and what we can kind of see is the cardboard just began to rot and all the grass underneath is dead, and so you can go right to the soil itself and it's very friable. So this is what we're planting into. We're going to use the dibble stick and just punch right through the mulch, right through the cardboard, and so the roots of the plant will be, making contact with the soil underneath. So it did a good job of wiping out the grasses in here. And like I said, before we put the cardboard down, we made sure we got rid of anything that looked like a perennial. And I think, this is perfect. It took like a month in our wet Oregon climate to do it. Now, the key to this is moisture. If you're in a drier climate and you're doing this thing, you'll probably have to irrigate this thing so that you keep a fairly good high level of moisture on the cardboard and on the mulch itself. If the mulch begins to dry out, it'll be very, very difficult for the water to get down into the cardboard, and the cardboard will just stay pretty much intact. So we want the moisture in the cardboard so that the biology that's underneath there starts to work on it and basically dissolve it, and it becomes, earthworm food, so to speak. So let's get everything planted. So let's figure out how we're going to plant this here.
Not in straight rows.
Oh, shoot, really? Yeah, I was thinking kind of like a drift of maybe yarrow, and then, kind of drift in towards the center of maybe delphinium over there and a little foxglove in between. Just kind of like trying to get enough. Since the foxglove's only going to be here a couple of years, maybe kind of intermixing that in to just kind of give it a different color look.
Right.
I'm not that artistic about it, but
I'm not married to any specific either.
Right.
I just didn't want perfectly straight, rows from.
So, and most of this stuff is deer resistant, and
Yeah, that's
when
why
I
it's
go
very
through
important.
and I look at this, I can see that we've had deer back here before.
Right.
So the phlox, unfortunately, is not deer resistant, and we have
Had
issues.
them munch them.
Yep.
But yeah, foxglove, yarrow, and delphinium, all deer are not, they don't find them tasty.
Right. So this is yarrow, and this variety I believe we're dealing with is the Colorado. And we planted these guys, we started them all in mini blocks, and then we bumped them up into 6-packs.
Right.
And they were bumped up, gosh, let's see,
It's
what's
not
our
on
date?
the tag.
Week 7.
That's when I started.
That's when we're sowing them, so probably they were bumped up, about probably week 10
Right.
to 11.
Right.
And we're at like week 18 now.
Right.
So they might have grown on a little bit long, and you can kind of see, we got some roots that are kind of coming out. So we might have went a little longer than we should have, but we were kind of waiting for this area to get, ready to go. But the planting is going to be really pretty simple. It's just, we're just going to use our dibble stick, punch through the cardboard, which I can feel when I push it down. And then these guys have all been inoculated, so we're good to go. There's plenty of moisture in them. We use the worm tea inoculant.
That's the where you throw them in the bath.
Yeah, right. And that's all been done. And we've fertilized these guys on a, we used JLF, grass JLF, and we did it on a 1:100 dilution.
How
And
often?
did that every 7 to 10 days,
Okay.
just for fertilization purposes. So it doesn't hurt necessarily to stand on the bed that much. And what I'm doing is just making sure these guys kind of got around. I'm putting them about maybe a foot apart because I want these kind of to fill in fast.
And then if in the future they appear to be too crowded, we can make
Yeah.
adjustments in the spring by digging them up and moving them around.
Yep. And so it's really pretty easy to get these guys in. So that's the whole planting process, is just kind of sticking them in. So the cardboard is, when I stick the dibble stick in, I can still feel it a little bit, but
you're getting to the soil.
Yeah, it's really soft. I mean, it goes right to the soil. Okay, we've got this all kind of planted in. We really planted this intense because A, we had a lot of plants, and B, we want to get a real good effect on the first year. So probably what'll happen is there's always some losses, you know, in transplant and stuff like that. But the majority of this stuff, you know, if it looks too thick by the end of the year, we'll thin it out and leave the best and, you know, kind of pull out the rest. But this is going to be our spike garden. So we're going to have phlox on one end, yarrow, got a mixture of delphiniums, whites, and lavender, a couple of different foxgloves as we talked about, a little more yarrow over here still got to put in, and delphinium and foxglove on the back end. So it'll be a nice mixture. And then around the edges, when our petunias are ready in the next couple of weeks, we'll put some petunias and marigolds in, and that should finish this off. So
got a spring storm coming.
We got a thunderstorm coming, and so I got to get the rest of these guys in. But just thought we'd give you an update of what the cardboard no dig prep thing did, and it's really looking good. And I think in a couple of weeks we'll circle back either on a short or something and just kind of show you how things took. So thanks for coming along today. Oh boy, it's going to start raining. Stay safe. We'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye.
Bye.